This movie will make you question the nature of your reality. For instance, are you watching me right now, or am I watching you? Hypnotic is a somewhat sci-fi action thriller directed by Robert Rodriguez. A detective played by Ben Affleck investigates a mystery involving his missing daughter and a secret government program. This movie has loads of twists and turns, and Mr. Rodriguez has asked that I keep certain aspects of the film super vague, so no spoilers here. The standout by far in this film is Ben Affleck's chin. I'm not kidding. Just try not to get distracted by his incredible jawline and bone structure. Old Benny Chinny, they used to call him back in college. Notwithstanding that sweet chin music, Affleck's performance is incredible as always. He's always been good, and his acting and directing over the years have become more and more refined. I thought his performance in 2020's The Way Back, where he plays a basketball coach who struggles with alcoholism, was his best performance in recent years. I often prefer him as a director with hits like Gone Baby Gone, The Town, Argo, and his most recent outing, Air, which is one of my favorite films of 2023. So this film had a lot of heavy lifting to do in order to explain what a hypnotic is in this universe. In the real world, hypnotics are sleep-inducing drugs or something relating to hypnosis. However, in the film's reality, a hypnotic is someone who can influence other people's minds and actually control them. They make a clear distinction between a hypnotic and a telepath. Telepaths can communicate with people mentally and know their thoughts, whereas hypnotics can actually control their actions and surroundings, at least within the context of this movie. The only problem with this is that the film seemed to be holding our hand and explaining a lot of things through exposition or word dumps from one character to another. I think I would have preferred a show rather than tell approach here that would have allowed some of the emotional moments to breathe a little bit better. Trust that your audience is smart enough to pick up on the nuances of what's happening to these characters without having to spell everything out for them. The story is quite compelling, especially in the beginning when you're being introduced to the concept of hypnotics. There's a good bit of intrigue and mystery surrounding everything from the detective's daughter being missing to why some random man has a picture of her in a security deposit box. Kinda creepy. Sometimes I prefer the mystery box approach to storytelling rather than actually knowing what's inside of it. I'm talking to you, Lindelof. Although he crushed it with The Leftovers, so if you've never seen that series on HBO, do yourself a favor. It is in my top 3 series of all time. The film makes great use of macro shots, specifically close-ups of an eye, to show that our perception is not always our reality. Tight macro shots may be the new thing, as the recent Evil Dead Rise utilized this type of shot quite a bit as well. Some of the visual effects shots where roads and buildings warp into spirals borrow from films like Inception, which I think actually did it better. However, Hypnotic did have a somewhat modest budget at around $70 million. My favorite scene of the entire film is actually in the trailer and on the poster. There's an elaborate scene with the dominoes perfectly laid out, with the dominoes being white dots on black instead of black dots on white. I think this was done deliberately to show that sometimes our perception is flipped, our reality distorted, and it makes us question what is actually real. Affleck's character Danny Rourke tips the very first domino, creating a chain of events that seems inevitable and can't be undone because everything is already in motion. But will the last domino fall? The characters in this film are serviceable, but not necessarily people you want to hang out with or rally behind. Affleck and likely one other character that I don't want to spoil are the only two that you will be rooting for, and it's mostly to see how things will pan out, not necessarily from an emotional connection to either of them. That's not to say that the film was poorly acted, it definitely wasn't. I really appreciated William Fichtner's performance. You may remember him from small performances like the bank manager at the beginning of The Dark Knight, and he also played a bigger role in the series Prison Break. I always enjoy what he brings to the table and really appreciate his more antagonistic persona. There are a few themes interwoven throughout the narrative. There's some really interesting stuff in here about free will versus control. Do we want our children to become like us, to be nothing like us, or to have the free will to decide for themselves? The drama and action in this film are well done, but I didn't feel much emotionally. That's typically par for the course with action sci-fi films, but if you look at something like Interstellar, it can be done and done very well. Initially, you feel Rourke's grief at the loss of his daughter, but it quickly turns to mystery and intrigue, and has you questioning what's real and what isn't. The film clocks in at 1 hour and 32 minutes and was a very easy watch. I enjoyed myself. The film definitely borrows from Christopher Nolan's 2010 Inception. Rather than the ability to steal people's secrets from their dreams, Hypnotic focuses more on mind control, honing that skill set, and becoming a more powerful hypnotic. Also, just a quick note, I feel like they didn't really advertise this film very well. I only saw one trailer for it before a movie, and I didn't see anything online at all. If you believe in your film, promote it. So who is the movie Hypnotic for? Hypnotic is for die-hard and casual Ben Affleck fans alike. His performance is great as always, and he just has that it factor that makes you always want to root for him. Additionally, this film is for people who love psychological thrillers and sci-fi action films like Inception, Shutter Island, and Tenet. There are other films in the genre that do it better, but Hypnotic is a fun time at the movie theater. If you're feeling sexy, my friend, hit the subscribe button and make sure to check out my review of Ben Affleck's Air, which you can find here, and I will catch you in the next one.